Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Discuss the latest news, just fans giving their views. This channel is red. They see the bar and raise it, plus they rep for the ladies. Trust it's red. Female voices in football. Red. If you want to talk up, it's a red channel for me and you. Subscribe and tune in to the Ladies in Red.
Hi guys, welcome back to Ladies in Red. Back with another solo show. Had to do a solo show for this one. Where do I start? I'm absolutely gutted. You don't know that I stood by the manager up until the end, and I always said I would do that. But yeah, it's just horrible that it's ended this way, and obviously I'm going to delve into the comments, maybe even let people on at some point and post that link out, depending on time. But yeah, let's see what you got. Let's delve into what you guys are saying first, and then I'll share my bit. I'm hugely disappointed for Ole. I just wish fingers worked out for him, but it was not meant to be. Kanunakine and Migu both said the players should be humiliated and ashamed of themselves. Maguire needs to be sold. He's been a complete failure as captain and as a player. There are rumours that he threw his armband down. I don't know if there's any proof of that. Obviously, I haven't seen anything, but I have seen a few tweets saying that apparently he threw his armband down to the floor after he got sent off. If that is the case, then yeah, I'm disappointed to say the least. Hello to James. He said, hi Sophie, hi everyone. It obviously had to happen, and it's pretty sad because he's a legend at your club, but results haven't been good enough. The players, though, need to take responsibility too. And there's that little clip that I tweeted of Bruno just behind Ole when Ole obviously seemed to be waving goodbye, and he was saying sorry. Bruno's behind saying no, it's all of us, not just Ole. And I'll respect Bruno for that. Bruno I thought was awful again yesterday. He has been for a few games to be fair, but fair play to him. He did stand up and he did say that players need some accountability as well. And he is right, but we know where the buck always falls at the manager, and unfortunately Ole's time has come. John said, goodbye, Ole legend. I will never forget what you did for Manchester United. Exactly that. James said, subscribe, please. Make sure you do hit that sub button if you are new. I'd really appreciate that, guys. Niall said he's gone and convinced. I'm not convinced by Carrick and Fletch. You're better with Anton Deck. Maybe they're trying to get Anton Deck, but obviously I'm Celebrity starts tonight, so they're probably a bit tied up with that. Who knows? But now look, Ole's been sacked, and for me, we've already said it. Like, it's not just Ole; he takes the brunt of it, but the coaching staff need to go as well. It's simply not being good enough across the board. We know where the true problem lies, and that's above the manager. We already know that. But in terms of on the pitch and what's been happening, the coaching staff had to take some responsibility as well. And obviously, it's been said that Carrick is going to take over in the interim. I believe Fletcher will be involved with that as well. But Carrick, McKenna, Phelan, all these guys for me have to go as well. Obviously, this is the interim. But you know what? The most gutting thing for me, and a lot of people probably disagree with me on this one, but scrolling through Twitter yesterday and even this morning, what the most painful thing is, I mean, this is painful anyway, of course, but it had to happen. I appreciate that. Performances haven't been good enough. We don't lose 4-1 to Watford on a bounce-back game as well. Just doesn't happen. So I'm not disputing the fact that Ole is gone. But I'm seeing United fans literally celebrating. I'm seeing people dancing, toasting to a club legend being sacked, and I can't buy into that. And I said this a few weeks ago, and I think this just typifies that really. Like, there's a lot of fans out there, and it's all about egos. It's all about proving that they were right all along. Surely you should be hoping that you get proved wrong. Surely you should be hoping that your team wins. You should ultimately hope that your team wins, regardless who is in charge. But seeing fans wanting their team to lose just so the manager gets sacked and then posted on socials, toasting, dancing, I just can't get my head around that. And that's something that's hurt me, to be honest. That's something that's hurt me the most out of all of it, because I just feel like you support your team through thick and thin, no matter what. No doubt about it. When the next manager comes in and things aren't going to plan, the same fans will jump on that one as well. I just can't. Yeah. Let me know in the chat what you guys think about that. But that's just horrible for me. I just can't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all, and I hated seeing that. That hurt me more than anything. Alex, thank you so much for that super chat. I really do appreciate it. It says our club is a joke. To sack Ole and not the rest of the coaching staff is pathetic, and is throwing Ole under the bus unfairly. They should have all gone. Totally agree with you, Alex. Totally agree. And I mean, Keno said it a few months ago. Was it a year ago now? About players will eventually throw the manager under the bus, and they've done that yet again. No doubt about that. But yeah, I think it shows the lack of plan from United, though. We've just had the international break, and they wait for one game after the international break to then decide to sack Ole. There's no plan in place, and it's a bit of a panic, really, thinking we'll do what it did before. We'll put an interim manager in, a legend of the club or an ex-player of the club, just to paper over the cracks, basically, and take the pressure off themselves. It's almost like we've accepted that we're writing off this season. Hopefully, we do get an actual manager in and a manager that suits us. Rather than just having these easy fixes. But what must he be thinking right now? Obviously, it was obvious that he wanted the United job, and we literally wait for one game after the international break to make the decision. It just doesn't make sense. We've already said it was the inevitable. It was going to happen. It's just a matter of when. Why did we delay until after the international break? It just shows how shambolic the board is yet again and how this club is run. As I said, Sophie is my take. I'm glad that Ole is gone because the club is being battered on results. All the coaches, and more importantly, the entire board need to get removed as well. Bad manager, legend player. I agree. He's still a legend. There's people saying he's not a legend anymore and he's kind of ruined that. He's not ruined that at all. He will always be a legend. He scored the most important goal in our history. And the people who are saying he aren't, I just don't agree. Don't get me wrong, as a manager, it hasn't worked out, but he did steady the ship. Look at the squad that we've got now. He's definitely built positives for the future. I think the fact is he just hit his ceiling. He hit his ceiling, but Ollie's a good man. He's a Man United man. He's a legend. And I will not accept people celebrating and toasting to him in being sacked. I just don't agree with it. Look, you can disagree with the football. I've openly said before it's not been good enough, of course. But I just can't. Yeah, I don't agree with that. My view is not that. My view now is that I'll be back 100% the new guy and allow him to settle and get us playing and winning again. Of course, I've said before, I'll back whoever is in charge. But it's like me, I don't want Carrick in charge right now. But that's like me hoping that United lose all the next few games just to get to prove a point, to prove that I was right all along about Carrick. You know, I'm not that way inclined. I want United to win regardless of who's in charge. I hope that Carrick now can turn a corner with us and we can start playing football and looking like a team again. Because I think we've just looked so divided for a while now, relying on these individual moments, and it's just frustrating to see. But I love Ole. I love him to bits, and obviously I'm grateful for what he's done for us. And like I said, I think it probably was the case where he hit the ceiling, he couldn't take us any further. But any abuse hurled at the man personally, I just can't get behind that. Josh, hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate it. He said, when Watford scored the third, and you see in his face, you could see the pain he felt. Should never have kept that long. He's human after all. And no two ways about it. He wanted what was best for United, regardless. Like I say, technically he wasn't good enough as a manager. That's fair enough. But he always wanted what was best for the club. There's people saying he's only holding on for the players and whatnot. I don't think that's ever been the case with Ole. He loves United, and I've never doubted that at all. But I do agree with you, Josh. And I think for me as well, and it's been like this probably since the Liverpool game, I've felt numb. Watching my team lose, I've felt numb to it. Like, literally, I stayed till the end of that Liverpool game just to see the reaction of the fans and whatnot. But then when we say, we've worked on things in the international break, we've corrected some mistakes, and then you go and lose 4-1 to Watford. No, we all knew he was going to get sacked. We all knew it was going to happen, and it's just a horrible manner, and it's gone in that way. But it's never tarnish what he's done at United for me. As a manager, it hasn't worked out, but I do remember all the good things that he's done as well, all the positive moments we had with him. Seeing these fans celebrate, I just can't get over it. I cannot get over it at all. But we'll talk about the Watford game, sadly, as well. I have to touch on it. Absolutely shocking, but the big plus, and I know we've all probably spoke about it, but Donny van der Beek came on, showed his worth, showed a bit of fight, a bit of desire, a bit of heart, scoring a goal as well. Nice little assist from Ronaldo. That's what it's all about, and I'm hoping now that Donny can play a few more games. Obviously, with Ole being gone as well, maybe that'll give Donny a more clear run, and hopefully we can keep hold of him, because what a player he is. Man of the match for me. Sancho looked good as well, especially when Donny came on, the little link-ups that we saw, but Donny, man of the match. He done more in that midfield than we've seen in the last few weeks from a midfielder in the space of time that he had. So yeah, hats off to Donny. He was the only positive for me yesterday. So did you see Saeed's show video? He's loving it and enjoying it. A huge smile on his face. I just can't. You all know me. I get on with Saeed and I'm friends with that, but our opinions don't always match, and that's just the way it is. But I just can't condone celebrating, pouring a drink and whatnot. I agree that you wanted the manager. That's fair enough. But yesterday was a sad day. I'm still gutted now, even though obviously it happened yesterday pretty much, but it was confirmed this morning by United. I'm still absolutely gutted. I'm hurt by it now. And I don't know how you could be in the mindset to be celebrating. And we're just different in that sense. We're just different. I just can't comprehend it. Alex Fang said other clubs sack their managers and get full-time replacements straight away. However, we sack a manager and have no plan as to how to replace him. Exactly. And straight after an international break as well. Let's just say that a 2-week international break. Exactly. And I think it just shows it's shambolic from the top. Conte wanted us. Why did we do it in the international break when Conte was available? He would have been the perfect one. But now we have to settle with some Carrick in there until we do find someone. And it's just a lack of plan. It's just a lack of plan. And look, I get it sentimental. I've said to you, I'm too emotional when it comes to Ole, and I backed him right away until the end. And I know a lot of people laughed at me for doing that, but that's just the way that I am. And I think the club have been too emotional with Ole as well, because they held on to him, and it's backfired majorly now. And look at the position that we're in. It's like we've 26 games gone or whatever, and we're writing off the season already. That's how it feels. And look at how our hopes before the season were, how high they were as well. It's just heartbreaking to see it end this way. Doug, thank you so much for that. I hope you're doing good. He said, I'll be honest, Soph, I thought he was going after the 5-0 defeat to us. I hope your mood was lifted a little bit with our battering of Arsenal, though. I can't even celebrate. I can't banter Arsenal at the minute, Doug. That's how bad it is for us United fans. We cannot even banter Arsenal at the minute. In fact, Arsenal conceded less goals against you. That's what I would say. But yeah, I feel numb. I think watching United over these last few weeks and seeing the fans and the meltdowns on Twitter, it's actually made me numb because obviously it's been painful to watch on the pitch. It hurts, but then when you're going onto social media and seeing that as well, it's almost like rubbing salt into the wounds, and it just hurts even more. Missing Conte probably wasn't a bad thing. I get that, but if we're getting an interim manager in, Conte is a fairly short-term manager as well. He's a winner. A lot of people were saying they would want him. I think at that time it would have made sense to get him. I already said to you guys that Conte wouldn't be my ideal choice, but it would have made sense. And I think the choice is now, would you rather have Conte or Carrick in charge at this point in time? And I think that's it, isn't it? I think the lack of plan has meant that we've ended up with Carrick, who we all know is part of the problem as to why Ole's been sacked as well. Jadon Sancho was amazing for us last night, regardless of no goals or assists. He's finally settled in, especially when Donny come on. I thought he seemed to click, and I'm hoping again, like I said with Donny, I hope Sancho can go on a run of games as well. I actually put a bet on yesterday. I thought Sancho would score his first goal, but that backfired. But yeah, I did think he played probably his best game. Obviously, I thought when he came in against Everton, he looked bright, and then that game yesterday was definitely his best prolonged amount of time on the pitch for us. And Rahul said, I hope we win the midweek match. That's really important. It is. But again, I feel like now, like the pressure's kind of off a little bit because what we really expected, I don't think anybody really knows what to expect at the minute. Because you've got Carrick there, who's been there the whole time with Ole, so you can't really say you're going to get that new manager bounce. I'm just hoping that the players can play with a bit of freedom. We see players like Donny, Sancho getting more game time, obviously, for the fact that they haven't been playing under Ole. But that's it, really. Like, I don't really know what to expect anymore. And then the other major talking point is obviously Harry Maguire. That sending off yesterday, I mean, we spoke midweek about his celebration. He put his hands in his ears and he was giving it the big one against Albania. When he scored the next game, fair play to him, celebrated as normal. But I said to you, as long as he carries his form into his club games, then I'll forget about it. We move on. We get sent off, and the manner in which he's sending off as well, a shocking touch. It's far too slow, just lunging in. It's laziness from him as well. How do you defend that? How do you defend that? I know there's pictures of him going out clubbing and that. For me, what a player does in his own time, it doesn't concern me. That could have been a pre-planned event, who knows? But yeah, the sending off, the manner of it, and apparently he threw his armband down. Whether that is true, if someone could confirm that, I'd appreciate it. But apparently he threw his armband to the floor as well afterwards. So a lot of people are screaming that he needs to be stripped of it. The fact that he didn't come out and apologise after the game as well and talk, Bruno spoke, De Gea spoke, Ole spoke, but the captain couldn't come out and talk as well. There's plenty of questions to be asked there regarding Maguire as captain and whether he'll continue. If he doesn't continue as captain, though, who would you guys like to see taking the armband? Obviously, De Gea's there with a shape, Bruno's there, we've got Ronaldo as well. Who would you guys like to see take over if it is that Maguire doesn't keep that captaincy anymore? But like I said, the fact that he didn't talk after the game, baffled me a little bit. You think as captain, I'd want to step up and I'd want to say I'm really sorry for what happened in the game and whatnot, especially after the midweek antics. And then there was just nothing. So Wolf said there, he just threw it. That's petulancy. That's disrespectful. That is disrespectful to me. Jordan, I would love to see Bruno as captain. Like I say, what he did yesterday behind Ole, and look, Bruno's been playing poor. Do not get me wrong, but at least he'll take responsibility for it. And he stood there and he said, no, it's all of us. It's not just Ole. And I know we're sick of seeing the tweets week in, week out. But only a handful of players went to the fans at the end as well. And that's another part of the problem. If you can't face the fans after a performance like that, fans who've paid good money to travel to London, don't respect that at all. He threw the captain's armband. It's disrespectful. That is disgraceful, isn't it? I didn't see that. I've only seen tweets about that. But like I say, that's not exactly proving you're a good role model and a suitable man to be manager, especially after the performances. Like I said, the manner of which that red card was a joke. And I'll be honest, my stream was proper laggy. I didn't see the red card. It went off. I found a new link. I clicked on it, and it was literally the point where they were showing the replay. He had already been sent off. And I just remember thinking, like, you've gone and done it, Maguire. Like, how do you come back from that? Kevin, thank you so much for that. Says Soph, you're one of the most genuine United fans out there. Glad you speak out your truthful opinions always. Thank you so much. I just want what's best for the club, and as a fan, I think that's all you should ever want. And whether you like the manager who's in charge or you don't like the manager, you should always want your team to do well, regardless. And that's just the way that I'll always stick. I'm sad for Ole, but I agree it's the right time for it to happen. But I do remember all the good times. I remember the rebuilding that we've had. I remember the squad that we've got now compared to what he did have at the start. And for a new manager to come in, surely we should be performing and playing better than we are. And we need a top manager now. We need a world-class manager, not someone who is just available at the time. We need a manager who fits our profile and who can manage the players that we've got in our club. And whether that's Zidane, Ten Hag, Brendan Rodgers is still being spoken about as well. Whoever it is, like, we need to see a proper manager. And I don't want to see no Carrick or anybody or Fletcher taking the reins. I really don't want to see that. Minos has regressed. I'd say, yeah, in the last few months or so, I think because we added that ceiling. I think it got to a point of no return, didn't we, Volley? Look, it should have happened a few weeks ago. We know that maybe after that Liverpool game, but the performances haven't been good enough all season, and we've been saying it over and over again. He's got a few lucky things, obviously, with the Ronaldo goals and a few lucky moments, but on the whole, performances haven't been good enough. Then after the rebuild and the personnel he's brought in, he should be making better use of the squad as well. So look, I'm not disputing that he shouldn't have gone, and I'm not disputing that the last few weeks were good enough. But I think if you bypass and take out the last few months, should we say, there were some good moments under Ole as well. Some good moments, obviously Ronaldo coming home and whatnot as well. But yeah, it's time. It's time, and it hurts, but it is. Zidane is the only top name I can think of that's available, but apparently his wife doesn't want to come to Manchester, doesn't want to move to Manchester, so that obviously is a bit of an issue there. I'll back whoever comes in. I'll back whoever comes in. Seeing Rodgers Leicester play yesterday, I'll be honest, I wasn't the most sold and convinced to get him in. And I've already said with his ex-Liverpool links as well, I'm not hugely sold, but whoever comes in, I will back. Ten Hag would be my ideal, but then that's a case of us maybe keeping Carrick fresh until the end of the season, writing off this season, and then going in for him in the summer. But there's still so many games to go. I don't want to see us writing off this season, not with the squad that we've got as well. Let's face it, we might not have Pogba next season. We might not have Donny next season. We might not have Cavani next season. Whilst we got all these personnel, I want us to be making the most of it. So frustrating. Yeah, I remember that. Maguire saying in his interview, "I'm here because I have to be here." Harry Maguire after Liverpool, disgusting. Apparently, CR7 was Luis Enrique, according to Sky Sports, and thank you, Mine Blue, for that super chat. I appreciate it. Interesting. Luis Enrique is not a bad shout, to be fair. Not a bad shout. Zidane is unemployed. Zidane is unemployed. Get him in there. Money talks, and if you give him what he wants, he will come, regardless of his wife concerns. You'd think so. Maybe they could buy like a private jet, or I don't know, build a secret tunnel from Manchester to where his wife lives, so he can just, I don't know. But yeah, money is often the answer, isn't it, in terms of managers and turning the heads and players as well, to be fair. Any United fans, do you trust this incompetent board? Nope. And we know that's where the problem is. We know that is a problem. I'm seeing another thing is baffling me as well. I'm seeing loads of these Ole outers and whatnot celebrating the fact that Carrick's interim, though. I can't. Part of the problem's still there. Yes, Ole may have gone, but he was the brunt of it, but the coaching staff is still the same. So we're really expecting us to turn the corner all of a sudden. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand it. The statement from the club says that they are looking for an interim. Zidane is not an interim. No, so that's what I mean. We'll be putting up with Carrick, Fletcher, Phelan, McKenna till the end of the season. Is much going to change in that time? I genuinely can't see that. It is poetic, to be fair, that Donny did score the last goal of Ole's era. And like I say, his performance when he came on as well, he's the only one yesterday who could hold his head high after that, because yeah, I love Donny, and I love how professional he is. He came on. I mean, some of his little passes, playing between the lines, little outside of the boot passes, little curve passes into Ronaldo, always looking forwards, gets into the box, scores a goal as well. Our first headed goal of the season. I know it's a tap-in, but still, he made an impact when he came on. And it's almost like we've been thinking we've needed a player like this for a long time. We've had him sat there all along, and that's what a lot of us have been scratching our heads over. But hopefully now, Donny coming on, scoring that goal, playing as well as he did, he can get a run of games. I think that's what we all want to see. Ragnick is also another one. But yeah, interim. Like I say, I think it's hard to find an interim, isn't it? And that's why I fear we're going to have Carrick and whatnot till the end of the season. Do you really want someone who is convinced by just the money? If he does come in, I see the circus that will follow with constant links to the France national job. It'll be Pogba all over. Good shout. I also read as well that Laurent Blanc would be interested in being interim manager. I don't know how true that is, but let me know how you guys feel about that. You reminded me there when you talk about the French players. Do you think Blanc could do a good job in the interim to come in? Jonas says I prefer Zidane. Tell you what, let me know in the comments who is your ideal choice as manager? If you could choose someone now to come in as an interim, who would you guys like to see come in? Or to tell you what, who would you like to see eventually be our manager then? Just let us know who your favourite ones are. Ian said there, Blanc is probably the best interim manager. Yeah, I think he'd be better than Carrick, to be fair. I think he would be better than Carrick. We do need that winning mentality. We need a winner. I totally agree with that. It's going to take up to the end of the season to move everyone the club wants out. The whole backroom staff need to go. But we know the board, everyone needs to go. But in terms of what's happened with Ole, the backroom staff need to go as well, definitely. Interim manager, Ole patches over the cracks. I agree. Zidane all day long. Gus Hiddink is out of work as well. I think Zidane interim, I don't think that'll happen. I don't think it'll happen. But Ten Hag is definitely the one that I would rather us get. But I know that's a bit of a hard one. Zidane says I want. Zidane said. Alex said I want Zidane. He worked well with Varane, Ronaldo before. Has an impressive CV and is available now. Am I right in saying he can't talk a lot of English? Am I right in saying that? Obviously, confirming the chat, but I believe he can't talk a lot of English, so that might be a bit of a step back as well. Bruce said, I'll take Blanca's interim. His style is a tad outdated, but he does bring the plethora of experience and can settle into the man considering his time spent there. Yeah, I think as interim, out of the choices out there, Blanc, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind Blanc coming in and doing that. Like I say, it would be better for me than Carrick, Phelan, McKenna, and the shambles that we've had over the last few months, wouldn't it? So I'll be up for trying that. Zidane always wanted Zidane. He's a winner. Can't see the owners going unless stadium's empty, not top 10, too much of a cash cow. We always said that the only way you're going to hurt the Glazers is by going for the pockets and not going to games. I haven't got a membership this season. I don't buy any official merchandise or anything like that now. And I do think fans need to unite in that sense. I mean, we saw the protests the other week and there's people stood outside there with mega store bags and whatnot. I mean, it was laughable at times, wasn't it? You can't do that. I think the only way you're going to hurt them, you are right, is by taking money from the pockets and not spending money. That's the only way you're going to hurt the Glazers. Maybe another protest should be due as well. But we'll see what happens with that. So if here's something nobody's talking about, though, it makes no difference who comes in. They have to choose their coaching staff and their transfers. The board should keep out of it. Yeah, they need to bring their own team with them. Definitely. That's what I'm saying. The whole backroom staff need to go. Carrick and whatnot need to go. If we bring in a world-class manager, they're bringing their team with them, definitely. Kanuna Kylan, thank you so much. It says, I absolutely hope Keno rips into Maguire and all the else involved in capitulation. There's no hiding place now for Harry. No one can defend him. There's no hiding place at all. And to be fair, I said I'm not interested in what goes on in his life outside of football and whatnot. But him going clubbing yesterday and the pictures that have come out of it as well, if it is true, after what happened with this in the midweek, the sending off, not coming out and talking afterwards and apologising for his actions as captain and doing that, if that's Pogba, you know that it's a different comeback. You just know that reaction from the media and everything is different. So, yeah, you are right. Keno hopefully will say some words. But Keno was spot on. He said these players eventually would throw Ole under the bus like they have done with previous managers. And it's happened again. It's happened again. No way should we be losing 4-1 to Watford, regardless. No way should that be happening. It's embarrassing. And you know what the worst thing is? I thought it was free. Like I said to you earlier, my screen was lagging. I thought it was 3-1. I turned it off. It had gone off. And I thought, I'm not even going to bother reloading it up. I went onto Twitter and I seen United tweeting saying it's 4. And I was thinking, you're joking me. I genuinely thought it was 3. So the fact that it was 4, it just made it even worse for me. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted the best for Manchester United, but the Glazers don't understand football. He wanted the best, but I do believe his ceiling was hit, unfortunately. But obviously, like I say, he's still a legend in my eyes. I wish him nothing but the best, and I thank him for what he's done for United. I'm definitely not celebrating and cheering at the fact that he's gone because I'm heartbroken by it, genuinely. Zidane doesn't speak English and is a man-managing coach, not a realistic signing, says I'm blue. I do think a lot of people are drawn to the fact that it's Zidane, and obviously they think of his playing career, the fact that he's been at Real Madrid, he's won some Champions League. But as an actual coach, and I said this before, I wasn't truly sold on him. He wouldn't be my ideal choice. Like I said to you before, I'd back whoever comes in, and I'm sure he'd bring the French players along and they'd do well. But in terms of keeping the dressing room and making sure it doesn't become toxic and getting the best out of the players, I'm not sold on Zidane. I'm not sold on him. Ten Hag for me would be the one that I would go for. Same, I turned it off at 3-1 and then I got a notification they scored a 4th. What a shambles. Yeah, shambolic. We literally got bullied by Joshua King and Dennis the Menace yesterday. Look at the squad that we had, the personnel we had out there. Like, this is Watford we're talking about. Even Arsenal beat Watford, and that's what I'm saying. I can't even banter Arsenal anymore. Shocking. Barry said there, Maguire needs to go, not United gravy. So, well, the claims of him being bullied and whatnot, and then what happened yesterday? I mean, I'll normally try and defend a player, and that in midweek when he did that, I didn't defend it as such. I just said that as long as he carries the form, what he's been having in England into his club form, I don't mind it. But obviously, he continued in the same vein yesterday, even worse. Got sent off and then didn't even talk it afterwards. That's meant to be our leader. That's meant to be our captain. And throwing the armband down as well. You can't defend that. I can't defend it. It's frustrating. Very frustrating. Candy says, I'm with you, so-called fans should have been dancing after his sacking. I wanted him away, but he had built us up again, played attractive football, he's done his job and fair play and wish him well. Exactly. Good point here. Ozzy, stay up till, watch that trash, till 4 a.m. last night. Exactly. I feel you. I feel your pain. And that's what I'm saying. Some of the fans travelled, obviously, to London and whatnot, fans staying up to watch it, and some of the players couldn't even go over to the crowd and thank them at the end. They were straight down the tunnel. I don't like seeing that. I do not like seeing that. And that's why I respected what Bruno did so well, because at least he faced up to the fans. At least he tried to stand up for his manager right until the end. And you can never doubt that. And that's why a lot of people believe he should be our captain. And don't get me wrong, his performances have been poor, but at least he stood up. I remember chatting to you, KG Flex, and I think Ricky on a super chat that Maguire is the problem and it should be Lindelof and Tuanzebe. Should follow Ole at the door. Well, after his actions yesterday, if that's me, if I'm captain, yeah, especially at a club like Manchester United, after doing that midweek celebration where you know there's been a lot of scrutiny and a lot of United fans took offence to that, I'm coming straight out after that game. I'm apologising for my actions. I'm obviously instilling like it's not good enough and whatnot, and I know we're sick of hearing it, but at least face the fans and at least face the cameras and apologise for what you've done. The fact that you've kind of carried away and run away and threw your armband down and then gone out clubbing on the night, yeah, it's not good, is it? It's not good from your captain. It just doesn't. It's not what a leader would do. I do remember when we wanted to sign Josh King. Obviously, we had Josh King back in the day, but yeah, I do remember when we were linked to him. It absolutely bullied us yesterday. No two ways about it. As a Liverpool fan, I will miss Ole, but I think your players need to respect the badge they play for. Liz, you're spot on, and I'm sure you guys will miss Ole. I know at Anfield they were singing Ole's at the wheel at Arsenal and the Liverpool fans yesterday, even more so. That's why it hurts. But yeah, I think you're right. I think the players have to take a lot of responsibility for it. Like I say, the person that's put out there, regardless of who your manager is, you shouldn't be beaten 4-1 to Watford in a game where you're thinking you want to bounce back after some awful weeks of football. Shocking. What more can I say than that? James, thank you so much. Please do keep hitting the likes, guys. I'd appreciate that. I'm trying to get through as many comments as I can. Keep putting the questions in and your comments in, and I'll get through as many as I can. Not long just woken up. Glad it's finally been done. Thank you for your service, but it wasn't to be. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Ollie, for everything, and wish you all the best. But I think that the decision is right. Niall, thank you for that. I appreciate it. If the Glazers want an interim manager, the smacks of them being tight with their money, as they don't want to spend the cash to get a proven manager that can save the season. Owners are the issue. Exactly, writing the season off with 26 games, I think it is still to go. Yeah, it's concerning, isn't it? And look at the squad that we've got. Like I say, Cavani and Ronaldo in there. That probably won't happen next season. Don is there, depending on what happens now with his career at United. He might not be there next season. Pogba might not be there next season. And Lingard won't be there next season. Do you know what I mean? With the personnel that we've got right now, we should be doing a lot better. And that's why, for me, we should be making the most of it. We should be getting a manager in straight away and moving. But it shows the lack of plan, the lack of desire from the club. They're back to Ollie on sentiment, and it's backfired majorly. The international break, the 2 weeks we just had off, was the perfect time to do it. And to wait till literally one game after to then make the decision. Scratching my head. I'm scratching my head at it. We shouldn't let his management run. It doesn't ruin his legendary player status for me, Tom. It doesn't. For some fans are saying he's no longer a legend. I do not condone that. I do not believe in that. He's a legend. He will always be a legend. He's a United man. He's a class man. Yeah, you can't. People who hate on Ollie as a person, I just can't understand that. He hit his ceiling as a manager. He couldn't take us any higher, but he's us in general. If you take the last few months out of it, he's put us in a better place than we were in. Look at the players that he's brought in as well. For a new manager to come into now, it's an exciting project, isn't it? So I thank Ollie for that. But we know the true problem is above him anyway, regardless. And his coaching staff and the whole team that was supporting him, they need to go. They need to go. And I feel for Ollie. But you know what? I'm kind of happy for him to be out of this as well. The way that some fans have treated him through all of this, how toxic it's been on social media, I've already mentioned it. Like, I'm glad that he's out of it a little bit. I think he's aged so much, bless him. We call him the babyface assassin, but he's aged so much since he's been in charge of United. He's had a lot of pressure on his shoulders. He always only wanted well for United. He always only wanted what was best. He just couldn't do it. He just wasn't good enough as a manager. And I will never... You can't say he never tried his best. You can't say he never put his heart and sleeve into it. He did. He put his heart and soul into it. He did everything for United. I'm just gutted that it turned out this way. I'm gutted it happened. I didn't say CR7 will leave. I said Cavani might leave next season. Cavani might leave. But yeah, I wish Ollie all the best. He's still a legend in my eyes. He will be a legend no matter what. He scored the most important goal in our history. You could say so. I just feel sorry for him that he was involved in that toxic row that Ollie out after every single game. A major reaction when we won, a major reaction when we lost. And I'm kind of glad for him in that sense that he's out of it and he's away from that. Because as a man, like I say, I really like Ollie, and yeah. Reckon we'll still get top 4 this season. Well, I think with Carrick in that in charge, I don't expect too much to change. But I'm not hoping that I'm proved right on that. I'm hoping I'm proved wrong, and I'm hoping that we do go on a run of games now and we can turn the corner. Players like Donny can come in and freshen the side up a little bit and give us something different. It's going to be tough. I think it's going to be tough, Natty. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. I think if we get an interim manager in, we stand more chance of doing that with Carrick and that there. I'll be honest, I don't feel as confident that we will do that. So we'll see what happens. Red Devil, that's modern game. Players down tools at Chelsea all the time. That's why most managers only last 2 or 3 years at most now. Player power is huge. You are spot on. The players weren't playing at the end, no way. Some Man United fans are a disgrace, celebrating his sacking and wanting a club legend gone before a poor run of form is disgraceful. Also, the abuse he got at times was terrible. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. When you think of the high hopes we had at the start of the season and whatnot, how positive we all were, to see how toxic it's gone now and how sad we all feel about it now. I say we all, some people don't feel sad at all, which I can't comprehend. But it's heartbreaking. Nobody wanted it to turn out this way for Ole. Nobody wanted it to turn out this way. And like I say, he can hold his head high. Yeah, last few months were poor, but other than that, like he has improved us. He's put us in a better place. We had some really positive moments under him. I really would have loved him to win a trophy. I think it was always unlikely he would. And the fact that he didn't, I'm gutted by it because he had a good chance of getting the Europa. But we move on. Like I say, he'll still be a legend from me. I have no disrespect towards him at all. I'm just thankful for what he did. And yeah, I wish him the best. Ten Hag would be my ideal one, definitely. It's an age thing as well. Some of the young ones don't have an emotional connection to things that were here before their time. Yeah, I'd agree with that. People who weren't around at 99 and whatnot. Totally agree. Modern management is ego managing really of millionaires. That's why I commend your peeps manager to control those egos. Exactly. Ole came in and the dressing room felt better than it ever has done. It hasn't felt toxic. In fact, up until the recent Pogba rumours and the Lingard picture of the West Ham thing, like Ole has really contained that dressing room well. It's in a better place to be as United. As a United player, it's in a more positive atmosphere, and that's all down to Ole. You can't knock his man management. Obviously, this treatment of Donny is a different thing, and I'm hoping we get answers about that down the line as to why Ole didn't play him, especially after what we witnessed yesterday. He's a player that we've been crying out for by the looks of it. But other than that, you'd have to say that he has managed the ego as well in the dressing room. It's just horrible. Why is everyone so sad he got the boot before he got sacked? Everyone was so mad at him, like, bro. You can be mad at him, but I think the personal hate towards him is a different thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's still human at the end of the day. He's a United man. He's United through and through. And I think that hate towards him is just, I think constantly throughout Ole's reign, like the Ole and the Ole out constantly happening. It's just hard. It's hard, isn't it? It's hard to support that. Oliver Villa, hope you're doing good. Good win for you guys yesterday. Obviously, Stevie G's in charge for you now. How are you feeling about that? I can see character at the end of the season. The Rodgers fought Soph. Like I say, after seeing Rodgers Leicester yesterday, I'll be honest, it made me think I'm not so sold on him. And I already said with his ex-Liverpool links and whatnot as well, I know I'm emotional when it comes to that. But Rodgers is a better manager than Ole. I'm not disputing that. Tactically, he's a better manager than Ole. But I just feel like we should be aiming higher. And I know it sounds horrible. I'm not fully sold on Rodgers. And I feel like we should be aiming higher. Ten Hag for me would be the ideal option. If we brought Rodgers in, of course, I'll back any manager. As I always say I would. But he just wouldn't be my ideal choice. A bull, hope you're good. Hi, Sophie. A bit late. Had a phone call with a friend who spoke about Ole and Heartbroken. Me, you both. I'm absolutely heartbroken by it as well. Good morning to JP. Says, morning, everyone. I just hope we don't shoot ourselves in the foot. Owners don't understand how football works. I think it's like American football where you can get relegated and anyone can win. That game yesterday, it was like a relegation battle, wasn't it? That game yesterday, the standard of football, particularly in that first half, was absolutely shocking. I don't think I've ever witnessed football as bad as that. It was awful. It was awful. I'm so badly wanting him to be a success, but after the Europa final, I was done. It's never been toxic from us in here. We respect what he's done, but his best one's enough, of course. And that's what look. Oh no, I've got a fan channel or a YouTube channel, if you like. And a lot of people I feel on these fan channels, it's been about an ego. It's been about proving that I was right all along about Ole. Do you know what I mean? And that's never my mindset. My mindset is always, I hope if it is that I don't agree with the manager, if it's Ole, whoever it is. I hope that he proves me wrong, and I hope that we go out and batter a team at United, go on a run of games and we win things. But seeing fans literally saying they hope we lose games and what, just for clicks and views and just to prove that they were right all along, celebrating, I was right all along about Ole because he's been sacked now. It just doesn't sit right with me. I'm a football fan at the end of the day. I want what's best for the club. And that's why you guys in the chat are an amazing community as well, because we all want what's best ultimately. And that's why this hurts. This hurts. No way would I be in the mood for dancing and toasting. This hurts to say this. It hurts to do this show. It hurts to talk about Ole. My Twitter name's Solskjaer, and I'm contemplating, do I change it or do I just keep it because it's a legend in my eyes? Any recommendations for other names, obviously throw them at me, but you all know my thoughts. I'll back the manager till the end, and I always will. And it just pains me to sit here today and do this show and say, Ole's time has come to an end. But I think back to the positives. I think back to what he's achieved, and I think, you know what? Look at the squad that we've got now. There's plenty to be excited about. Hopefully, we can get a world-class manager in, and hopefully, we can get United back. Because right now, it feels like we're on the free fall, and it's heartbreaking, isn't it? Guys, please do smash the likes. I really do appreciate it. That sub button as well. I'd appreciate that. Actually, to keep the name of Solskjaer, which is such a good name. Yeah, I might do, to be fair. He's still a legend. DJ Fergus says it does hurt. He's one of our own. Exactly, he's one of our own. If you are a big club, you need a manager like Zidane. As an Arsenal fan, we never bring in good managers, only Wenger. You need to raise your standards. Like even Arsenal are not scared of you. Nobody's scared of us at the minute. You're spot on. That fear factor is truly gone. You're spot on. But in terms of Zidane coming in or whoever it is, you are right. We do need the next. That's what I'm thinking. Is Rodgers a major step up? I don't believe he is. I think we need to go for a top manager. And if Zidane is that guy, then we shall see. But yeah, it's frustrating. Guys, let's get the likes to 100. I'd appreciate that. Please keep smashing that like button. Obviously, share the video as well if you can. I'd appreciate it. I know you guys feel a bit second, especially after Smith. It's horrible, but it had to happen. I was a bit surprised that he went to Norwich, I'll be honest. I didn't think he'd go straight back into another Premier League club straight away as well. He got the win yesterday for Norwich. Fair play to Dean Smith. But yeah, I'm sure you understand how we're feeling at the minute. United is a bigger problem than Ole. Ole is gone, but the same coaches are here. Spot on, exactly. And it just shows the lack of plan and the lack of desire from the club to progress us on. They had no succession plan for Ole. This is panicking now, thinking we've got to put someone else in charge. Kuna Meg will be back. She's been very busy. Obviously, she's playing football today anyway, so she wouldn't be here. I haven't got a game today, luckily. But she's had COVID and whatnot. She's okay. She's okay, and she will be back, I'm sure, in due course. I'll drop a message later on, actually, and see if she's available this week. But yeah, don't worry. It's not like she's been sacked like Ollie or anything like that. She will be back. But yeah, thank you for asking about her. I will pass it on. Thoughts on the Bruno reaction? I love him. I love him, to be honest with you. It's been shocking. His performances have been awful on the pitch, but off the pitch, I commend what he did yesterday when he stood behind Ollie and he said it's all of us, because he's spot on. But I think we're sick of seeing words now, aren't we? We want to see the performances on the pitch. And now the manager's gone, there's no excuses for these players. They need to turn it around, and they need to turn it around quick. And obviously we've got Villarreal midweek. That is going to be a very, very interesting one. A tough test. And again, I don't really know what to expect. I do not know what to expect at the minute as a United fan. As a fan, I would never want my team to lose, even if I wanted the manager to go down or a certain player. Any fan would still back their team. Of course. I don't want Carrick to be in charge at the minute, but I'm not hoping we go and lose to Villarreal. Do you know what I mean? I'm hoping that we win. I'm hoping that Carrick shocks me and surprises me, and we do look different. We do look more positive as a team. But obviously we're just different breed to some other fans out there. Ahmed went out last night on loan to Feyenoord for 18 months. Interesting development. Okay, I didn't know that. With all this going on, did not know that. UEFA Conference League, here we go. Please don't say that. I hope not. Then we can't even banter Spurs as well. That's how bad it's getting. Villarreal and Slabhead will play. Oh dear. Yeah. It's worrying. Big up to Dej as well. I hope you're good. It's worrying, is it concerning? Obviously, I'll be back. I am going to get Zio on a show at some point as well before that Villarreal game, because I think he's got plenty to say about me being on the fence all this time and whatnot. Now, at least I can finally get off the fence. It's happened, isn't it? And like I say, I'm kind of relieved for Ollie to be out of this toxic scene that is United fans at the minute. It's horrible. But in terms of Villarreal, I agree with you, Tom. Surely he has to start. Surely Sancho gets another start as well. And hopefully we finally see a bounce back from these players, finally see a corner turned, or just see something different. Like I said, there's no excuses now. This is on the players. They've got to go out there and they've got to put a performance out there on Tuesday against Villarreal, and hopefully they do. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in for the show. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Joseph, I've already said I might keep it. I don't know. You're still a legend in my eyes. If someone can come up with a better one, I might do a little competition. If someone can come up with a better name that can fit my name, Soph or Richo, into it, then I might use that. So get your suggestions in, drop me on the DMs or whatever. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. This has been a tough show today for me because, as you know, I like to support the manager to the end. I supported Ollie to the end. And I'm sure there's many fans feeling the way I am today. Very sad and very hurt by what I've seen on social media as well from other fans. But it's just the toxicness. Hopefully that can kind of die down a little bit now and we can just enjoy football again. I've been numb the last few weeks. I don't want to feel that anymore. I want to feel some emotion and some passion from the players. And hopefully we see that on Tuesday. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. If you are new, please hit the sub button on Ladies in Red. I'd really appreciate it. Hit a like on the video as well. I would appreciate that. And of course, drop your comments afterwards. If I've missed you in there, I've tried to get through as many as I can in the chat. So if I've missed you, just drop it afterwards and I'll always reply to you there. But look, the important thing is life goes on. Ollie is out of this now. Stay positive. Keep smiling. I'll be back with more content this week. But like I say, it's just football. It's just football. We'll bounce back, I'm sure of that. And hopefully exciting times ahead for United fans. But enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the football that's on today. and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Take care, guys. Cheers.